just on this spot around about here, there used to be a memorial fountain, and the memorial fountain was beautiful. Can you imagine a gorgeous stone structure with water cascading from the top and into the water here? And it wasn't just any fountain, it was a drinking water fountain. And I know that doesn't sound particularly special to us today, but it was then. And the woman that commissioned it was called Hannah Pickard. And Hannah was a Victorian woman of her day. She did everything she was ever meant to do. She came from a really wealthy family. Back then, there would have been the equivalent of millionaires. But Hannah was one of the most caring, one of the kindest people anyone could have ever met. When her mother died, she took on the care of her entire family. She took on the house of her brothers because they weren't married. One of her brothers did meet a lovely lady and they had a child, but they weren't married. The child was called George. He was being raised by his mother, but when she sadly passed away, Hannah is the one who took him in. And George had a lot of things that he needed help with. George needed round-the-clock care. So when Hannah, his aunt, took him in, she really loved him and she really cared for him and she really wanted the best for him. The Pickard family were really wealthy. They had come from a textile family and that's where they'd made their wealth. But I don't think money really mattered to Hannah, because when her brother then later died, the father of George, he had left everything to Hannah and his brother and nothing to his own son. Not a thing. Hannah refused her portion of the will and she continued to care for her nephew George herself, because that is what was important as far as Hannah was concerned. And then later her other brother died and the entire fortune passed to Hannah Pickard. She was a millionaire and she made sure that she would care for George. Hannah sadly passed when she was only 52. Nobody in the Pickard family lived long, it seemed. But she made sure George was cared for. In her will, she ensured he would have money, he would have a home, and he would have the care that he needed for the rest of his days. And not only that, Hannah gave money to lots of people, and she gave over £4 million in the equivalent of today for the people of Ossett. She gave over £4 million to the charities of Ossett, and she gave them the money to make the fountain that used to be there. This wonderful stone fountain that had drinking water in it for all the people of Ossett, and it was called the Hannah Pickard Memorial Fountain. But it wasn't about that. It was actually there to celebrate the independence of Ossett, which had only happened a couple of years previously. Because all Hannah Pickard ever really cared about was everyone else. And she's a great example of what we might consider an Ossett person to be like, even today.